Well, hello everyone and welcome to some more F1 League Racing, and as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we are here for the beginning of a new era. PSGL is of course one of our main leagues, but the new league this year, WOR, which is World Online Racing, it used to be an Xbox and I believe PS4, but now this year it has moved to PC. So for the first time ever, I'm taking part in it, and I'm very excited about this to be part of their inaugural PC season. And we are in the PC F2 split, so second tier in this year. And I want to mention, guys, really quickly, if you're new to the channel, then get subscribed for daily F1 content and weekly league racing content. Hopefully 2 videos a week. So yeah, I'm aiming for that kind of routine. And also, I stream these races live on my Twitch, so if you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link down below, guys. Go check it out, twitch.tv/Tom97HD, and I stream every Wednesday night and every Sunday night, so do check those out. But here we are then in qualifying, and it got off to a pretty bad start. Pay attention and watch what happens. My God.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
An absolutely ridiculous incident and terrible moving out the way there. What is he doing? Why? What? He's recovering from a spin. I understand I should go left, but he's kind of just going too slow for me to react. Oh, what the fuck is that? Come on, man. I actually hit a good first sector as well. I was absolutely gutted. We was in a really good lap there. Purple sector 1, and there was probably more time in it, but with that said, we finished at qualifying early and we're going to jump into the race. So you join me at the end of the formation lap, currently on the mediums, and we're going to go for a medium to soft strategy. We're starting P19, so on the last row of the grid, and we're going to see if we can try and fight back. The pace is pretty decent, and I feel like, we recently raced here a few days before this in PSGL, so I've already got a good baseline as to what I can aim for and what I can do. So let's see if we can make things happen and turn this race around. If you guys are excited, leave a like and let's jump into it. As the 5 lights are on, and it's going to be lights out and away we go for the brand new season in WOR. Away we go off the line. Not the best of starts, it has to be said, picking up a little bit of wheel spin as Cookie is going to make the move down the inside. We're going to go to the outside and hope for a bit of space. We've got our teammate Kerfuffle ahead of us here as we make our way through turn 2. Trying to keep it nice and clean, and then suddenly out of nowhere, bit of contact there between Mr. Anchor and our teammates. Somehow we got very lucky. They ghosted, we went straight through them and we didn't get any damage, and we managed to go on with our race, but we have lost a place to Cookie as a consequence of having to just get off the throttle completely out of turn 3. So a bit of a scary one already here as we start the race. Down to the hairpin, bit of action, bit of slice and dice from everybody here, too wide as well, and just it's all kicking off. I'm just trying to be patient here, and the plan of this race is to try and save my medium tyres and make them work in the second phase and go a bit longer in the first stint. So yeah, for now we're just going to try and be careful. We're not going to go nowhere. You're not going to win the race on lap 1, as they say. You're not going to win the race at the first corner. So we're just going to be patient. The strategy should favour us. Medium to soft. There should be a few people at the end of the race on the hard tyre who might be struggling. So the softs should come into their own eventually. And you can see here people making mistakes all over the place as Cookie runs a bit wide. I'm going to choose to use a bit of VRS here to try and maybe repass him as we get very close. But on second thought, I thought better of it, and I didn't fully commit to the move. And yeah, we'll just sit behind for now. There's no rush, long way to go, more action up ahead, and we go on to lap 2. We're going to see if we can maybe pick something up here. As you're going to see a bit of 3-1 action there up the road into turn 1. We're going to use that to see if we can make something happen again, as we got Neon in the Red Bull running a bit wide, and we've also got Sally in the Haas. Still nothing happening for us as we just stay very close, trying to find any window of opportunity to try and make an overtake here as we head up towards turn 4. And it looks like now pretty much everyone is starting to go into single file and settle in, but then suddenly Cookie makes a mistake. He misses the apex, and that's going to give me the invitation as we go down the inside into turn 8, trying to make the move here. I wasn't able to brake super late because of the car ahead of us, so I had to brake a little bit early, and into 9 and 10 I tried to hold it, but it wasn't possible. And actually Cookie makes a mistake. I force him into a late braking maneuver which he can't recover from, and he ends up spinning Sally out, so that's going to help us out massively, and we gain another place. And that's what I mean, sometimes it's not all about, you know, going for the move straight away and being super aggressive. A lot of times you can force people into mistakes, and that's what we've done there with Cookie, as we just forced him into an error. You know, he was trying to defend from me down the inside, he tried to break late, and it completely backfired. So we're up to P17 now, as we cut into lap 5, so quite a few laps later. A bit more action up ahead here between Modesto, Mona, and I think we've got Rainbow as well. And there's contact again as they both go off the track, and there's almost a multiple car collision. Somehow we go through the gap, avoid everything, and make the move here. But Cookie is going to try and hold on again. I knew he was going to dive up the inside here. I could tell by how aggressively he pushed me to the left and put me on the white line. So I knew he was going to dive it up the inside. And again, I'm not going to be super aggressive early on. If he wants to stay ahead, fair enough. I'll get you back later on. I believe in my pace. I believe in my strategy. I think we've got a better, you know, racecraft, and I think by the end of it we'll be ahead of him. So I've got no doubts as we make our way into turn 10. I make a bit of a mistake here, and I get a warning for track limits. Now, accidentally, I didn't realise I actually shifted my brake bias up to 58, which is really, you know, far too much towards the front. So I just locked up instantly, went straight on. So we've got our first warning for track limits. Yellow flag as someone else, I think, spun. And it's literally, like I just said in the background, it's all kicking off in this race, and we're now P14, so gradually we are making those positions bit by bit. We're starting to recover and make that progress. So yeah, we're looking pretty decent in this race. I was by myself. I didn't have a spotter, I didn't have a teammate to talk to, so that's why I'm kind of just talking over myself in this one here today. And we've got cars in the pits, so now is when it's going to start to open up. Luca, the man who took me out in qualifying, he's in the pit lane, risky as well, and we're now at P12, and the race is starting to open up a little bit. We've got a 5-car train here ahead of us, which we can definitely have a look at to try and maybe make up a few more places and make up a few more, you know, just in terms of on-track overtakes, not necessarily, but just clean air in the long run this race. If I can make those places up, possibly an overcut or an undercut, you never know. If we can clear all these cars, that would be awesome. The guys at the softs though are starting to struggle as more cars pit. That's going to be I believe the Haas in the pit lane, also McLaren as well, I think Carter Lundi, if I'm not mistaken. And we're now into the top 10 as Cookie goes for a move on Neon. A bit of an aggressive one there as they both run a bit wide. And I'm guessing Cookie probably locked up and took Neon with him. We're going to use that to try and challenge here. As you can see, Neon's light is flashing, so he has less than 10% ERS remaining. We're going to go to the outside at turn 4, but we just don't have the front end grip to really make that work, and Neon stays ahead. I wasn't happy with that. You know, the grip of the car just wasn't there, and I don't know why. I just wasn't happy with the balance this race. I was much happier in PSGL, and I was running a similar setup, I believe, but it just wasn't as good. Neon here out of ERS. You can see I'm using a bit of mine just to stay close. I thought about challenging on the brakes, and instead Cookie and Neon both make mistakes, and we're going to head through turn 2 and turn 3. Bit of an annoying one. I was going to try and go for the move, but we're going to try again anyways here. Getting pretty close. Neon out of ERS again, but not really close enough. But Cookie again makes another mistake running off the track. I'm going to try and squeeze here, but we're not going to commit to that. You can see Cookie actually took a very aggressive early apex, which compromised his line, and we're going to try again up the inside here at the hairpin. You know, eventually we've got to get this move done, and this time we're side by side, wheel to wheel, down to turn 9 and turn 10. We're going to try it around the outside, but it just doesn't quite work. We do get the cutback though, out of the corner. We get DRS and the ERS as well, and we're going to get very close and pull to the inside this time. Can we make it on the brakes here? Oh, it's going to be close. We have a little look. It's side by side still. He goes into the curb, and that's going to give us the invitation we need to go through and make the move. So, as you heard me say, a scruffy overtake, but we made it count, and we've got it done finally. And if you watch that back, there's so many moments where, you know, from an IQ perspective, I think I was much more smarter with that, and I did a much better job, you know, especially turn 6, I think it was turn 5, when I backed out of the side by side, and I just forced him into a bit of an early, you know, apex, and as a consequence, I knew he was going to do that. He, you know, compromised his line massively, and that gave me the invitation to have a look up the inside. Nonetheless, Nomzu was in the pit lane, and now we've also got Mercedes in there as well, and also I think another car, I think it might have been an AlphaTauri. Either way, we're still pushing on. P5 now. We've got Jay Verhaeg and Neon ahead of us now. So Jay struggling for pace on his tyres right now, and we're going to see if we can try and make the move on him, because if you remember to the pre-season race around Bahrain, you know, he was faster than us around here, but this race, the tables have turned. I've put in a lot more practice, and I've now got the upper hand. So we're going to try and make this move then. So here we go, DRS about to become available. We use a bit of our energy as we line them up for the pass. P5 about to become P4. You can see Jay thought about defending, but then decided to not defend and just let me have the inside. So we're going to take that up the inside. On the brakes we go, and we're just going to make that one stick and move up into P4. So Neon next. We know he's got very low energy because we saw before in the battle, and there's no way he's going to recover that because Bahrain is quite heavy in terms of ERS consumption. So you can see now we've set a personal best. Neon's lights flashing like crazy, so all I'm doing at this stage is just being patient and setting him up. I'm letting him use the last bit of his energy, and you can see here he runs a bit wide out of turn 2, makes a bit of a mistake. I actually have my exit compromised a little bit as I had to get off the throttle, but now we're going to make the move. He doesn't even defend, he knows we're coming through, and it's inevitable at this point. So we're now P3 and making progress. Up ahead, we've got Jeffrey, Richie, and Flores Viers. And they're both on the same strat as us, so as long as we clear both of those guys, we will be the lead car on the alternate strategy. So that's the plan now. We're going to try and focus our attention on these two and see if we can pass them. And if we can, then like I said, we'll be on those soft tyres, the first car coming back through the field on the softest compound, therefore having, you know, a pretty strong chance at capitalising on other people's worn out hard tyres and, you know, just issues in the race later on. So yeah, I'm very excited about this as we get our second warning for track limit. It's a bit of a stupid one again there, just running unnecessarily wide when I didn't have to. So we're now on 2 warnings with 13 laps to go, and I don't want to get a penalty because I know there's going to be a lot of cars in this race with time pens. So if we keep it clean, we should benefit. So lap 17, Richie and Flores are going to pit. They actually swap places as Jeffrey had a bit more pace, and we're going to join them in the pit lane. We actually had a very, very strong pit entry, and I think Richie may get held a little bit by the Williams behind me, but we're all going to box for a set of the soft tyres, and hopefully we get released here. Yes, we do. Somehow we don't get held by the Williams, and we're going to rejoin behind Flores and Jeffrey. So let's crack on then. It's going to be a frantic final 12 laps as we rejoin the track and actually into traffic here, side by side with Luca, the man that of course took us out in qualifying. We're going to manage to just stay ahead of him though, and Shazoo Neon, who was behind us, did manage to undercut us, but I know he's going to be still pretty low on ERS, and he'll have older tyres than us, so I know we'll have the advantage, so there's no need to panic. And I feel pretty confident in terms of re-overtaking him out of raw pace alone. But now, end of lap 18, Sally ahead of Neon has a 3-second time penalty in the Haas. And you can see now Neon is making the move. He's already out of VRS. You can see his light flashing. And actually, Sally goes into the pit lane. That could have been an absolute massive crash as we set up purple sector 3. And we're now going to try and line up Neon for the pass. Now, he's on fresh softs. Even though they're 1 lap older, they're still fresh. So it's going to be hard to really make a big difference in terms of grip. So this move is most likely going to happen on a straight using ERS and DRS, which is the case as we go up the inside into turn 4. He's going to try and hang it around the outside here. I'm going to fight back though and give it a bit of my own, and we're going to go side by side here into this tricky section, leaving always a bit of racing room between the two of us. Nice respectful racing, but we're going to get the inside line into the hairpin, and that should do the job. We also park it right on the apex to stop the cutback, and you know, we don't let Neon get any momentum on the exit. And job done, nice clean move, and the best battle of the race by far. So shout out Shazoo Neon for that one. Good fun, clean, respectful racing. But now lap 20, and we've got a spin. Jeffrey Ritchie, I believe, had contact with Carter Lundy, and we've gained a net position. So the only car that's left right now ahead of us is Flores Viers. If we can pass Flores, we will be the lead car on the alternate strategy. And right now we're tucked in behind Carter Lundy. He's really struggling on those hard tyres, and you can see he's also out of ERS. He actually got on the brakes there to do the old DRS trick where he gets DRS and I don't, but I don't care because I'm so much faster right now on these tyres and I've got so much battery. It's not even worth my time playing games. I'm much faster just pushing on and doing my own thing. So we drove away. We also dropped Neon out of DRS range, and now you can see Flores has gone for a spin. There's been contact or something has happened, and just like that, we are now the lead car on the alternate strategy, which is massive. So this is a big moment for us. You can see ahead of us we've got all the remaining cars, and suddenly we are now P6 in this race. Here is the top 5. This is the battle for the race win, and lap 23 we've got a few opportunities here to make things happen and potentially win this race. We also don't have a time penalty, so automatically we're going to pass Risky and Josh and finish at worst P4 this race if all goes well. So let's make things happen. Now, lap 23, Risky goes for a move, bit of contact with Josh. Josh ends up going wide, and we're going to make a move for free, an effortless overtake, and also Josh now 6 seconds worth of time penalties as we move up to P5. And into the next corner here, I've got so much more grip. You can see the closing speed and now the traction as we head up the hill here, up the inside of Risky. A bit of contact there. We get forced onto that curb, which is really deadly. You don't want to be, you know, on that curb at all. Luckily we survived. Somehow we didn't go for a spin. We make the move and we're now P4. Now we've got 3 cars to go. Nomzi, Jay, and I think Ruben Pedreño, if I'm not mistaken. All 3 of them do not have a time penalty, so this is going to be an all-out battle for net positions basically. So end of lap 24, I'm going to have a crack here to see if I can get past Nomzi in the Alpine. So here we go. DRS open. The only issue is we're all in a bit of a train right now, which is not ideal, and I'm also starting to run out of VRS, and my soft tyres are just starting to lose the edge a bit. They're not as fast as they once were. Nonetheless, then we go down the inside into turn 1, as also Jay passes Ruben for the race lead. We're going to try and hang it around the outside. We get squeezed off by Nomzi there, and luckily we don't get a third and final warning. I'm going to try and re-challenge up towards turn 4 as we go to the outside, but again I just can't quite make that move stick. We try to cut back and nothing really happens. You can see my tyre wear flashing up on screen. You know, we're in the 40s now, so I'm not really having the benefit of completely fresh soft tyres anymore. Like, we are starting to struggle. I have a little look again into the hairpin to see if I could spook Nomzi into a mistake, and it didn't happen. Lap 26 though, you can see all of us trying to stay in the slipstream as we see Ruben re-challenge for the race lead, I believe, and now into turn 1 here. I think Nomzi's actually going to go for the lunge up the inside, and that's going to put him on the back foot now, and through turn 2 I couldn't quite carry the momentum. I had to get off the throttle because of the battling, and we're going to try again to the outside here at turn 4. Can we make it happen? There's contact between Nomzi and Ruben. Nomzi runs wide, and I have to correct my steering angle and my line, which means I don't quite carry the momentum around the outside. We're still going at it though, side by side through here. The battle still continues down to the hairpin. I'm going to try it again here, but I just can't quite make it happen, and I'm just lacking that front end grip now to really make those kind of moves work around the outside. And pretty much that was it for the race. After that, my tyres really started to struggle. You can see in the bottom right, they're orange, and you know, we lost all performance, and realistically the hard tyre is probably the best tyre to be on right now because it's going to be the one with the less wear. And also I ran out of VRS. You know, we just ran out of everything basically, so bit of a shame. Still, we'll take it. Good recovery. I'll take that from P19 to P4, and that's exactly it. You know, we tried. I had pace. P19 to P4, very good recovery here today in WR second split. A bit more, we could have had a podium, but we just lacked a little bit, but it's all good. I enjoyed it, it was a fun race, and we move on to round 2, which is going to be the Japanese Grand Prix. But in the background, you can see the race results on screen, and I was one of the few cars to not get a penalty. So, of course, the top 4, no penalties there. And in general, the whole grid was actually really competitive, and I just wonder, had qualifying not happened the way it did, I probably could have won this race, and if not won it, then I definitely could have been on the podium quite comfortably. I mean, I had pace this weekend to really challenge and have a very strong result, but nonetheless, it is what it is. We move on to the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, then smash the like button, subscribe for more daily F1 content. As I mentioned, weekly league racing content twice a week, PSGL and WOR, and I also stream the races, so Twitch, link down below, Wednesday and Sunday nights. And I think that's everything, guys. So thank you for watching. Check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already for more league racing content, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.